Where's the video camera?
You're good to go. Right there.
Oh.
Hello, everyone, and thanks again for tuning in to
Closet Conversations.
I'm Chrissy Mack.
And I'm Berkeley.
Well, tonight we have two fabulous ladies, two of Detroit's well-known female rappers, lyricists, a.k.a. MCs. Lola, Damone, welcome.
Hey.
All right. And Mercedes.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
They in the building, y'all. So our topic for today is the female influence on hip-hop's music culture. So we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty, ask you guys some questions and stuff, and just about everything to see, what's your influence on our hip-hop's culture today.
Okay.
Sounds good?
Sounds good.
All right. So please tell our listeners a little bit about yourselves.
Okay. You want to go first? I don't mind.
Mercedes, you can go first.
Okay. I am from the west side of Detroit.
What's up?
Hey, next to F in the building.
Hey.
Nice.
I went to the Detroit High School for Performing Arts. A lot of people
Okay.
know that. I've said this numerous of times. I was awarded a music scholarship when I was in the 9th grade.
Okay.
I studied music at Xavier University in Louisiana.
She got a college degree, y'all.
Nice.
And then
We like those.
I did a talent show, actually, and I was approached only to do a studio session.
Okay.
And when I went to go and record a song, which ended up on the I'm Bout It soundtrack, I exited the studio and basically got a deal.
Wow.
So I
Nice.
had always been pursuing music, like going to the performing arts school. If anybody knows about it or knows someone that attended, it's a nonstop grind. They teach you all about the music business. They get you prepared for it. You do vocal training, and if you want to do any extracurricular, it's available. So I took heed, and I was prepared. And unfortunately, I had to leave my group because
Okay.
the deal was what we all were after anyway, and they didn't go on to pursue musical careers. So I'm going to say it was a sound decision on my part.
Okay.
I will go ahead and put this out here because I know I was the crush before social media. And
The crush,
that was
y'all
an
hear that?
executive decision. It was not mine. So I don't know. A lot of people been on my social media lately. Shout out to y'all. I love y'all. Pen and Pixel did a story. And they finally leaked the fact that I was not bent over a car to take a picture.
You weren't?
No, ma'am.
Oh, so what was
That
it?
was when green screen first hit and no one knew about it.
Wow.
Oh.
So
okay.
what actually happened was I was in a regular studio and I was on a ladder.
Were you?
Oh,
It don't even
okay.
look like that.
And I did like so many outfit changes and I had so many cute pictures. So being that I was the only other female, because when I got signed, me and X was already the female MC. So they kind of brought me on to do hip hop and to vocal because they wanted to mix something in that they didn't have.
Okay.
Plus, they were paying for people to come do vocals when they didn't have to. They could have somebody in-house, so it all worked out. But going through the whole course of it all, I bonded with everybody. So when we did everything, we all collectively flew out to Houston, did this big old photo shoot, and we get back and we're like, okay, we can't wait to see what the covers are gonna look like. So everybody's coming out and they like, yeah, and so I'm like,
Right.
okay. I go in and I'm like,
Uh.
my daddy is not gonna agree with that.
Exactly.
And they were like, are you serious? I'm like, I'm so serious. And they like, oh, you're going to be upset. And I'm like, why? They're like, we just sent it off to the vibe. I'm like, are you kidding me? So, for all of y'all that try and get shot down and you don't wonder why, you can't judge a book by its cover.
Absolutely.
It was just a picture.
It was just a picture.
You got to come right.
You gotta come right.
But it was a great learning experience. I am still active in music. I do have some stuff that is currently out and new music that will be coming. and a lot of different ventures. And
Okay.
Lola and I actually did a project along with another female. She doesn't do music at all anymore.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe on another time we can bring some stuff, but I'm not gonna talk too much.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
gonna let her talk.
Before we get into a little bit
Yeah,
about
because I know
that.
y'all got some questions. and
Yeah,
stuff.
most definitely.
yes,
So,
yes.
so Miss Lola Damone, how are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm
Good,
wonderful.
good. You looking all pretty too.
Well, thank you, lady.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I'm from Detroit. I
West side,
am
east side.
West side.
Ooh,
Side of the building.
Right down the street from the hip hop shop.
All
Okay.
right.
The hip hop shop.
I remember the
Yeah.
hip hop shop.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
on 7 Mile.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm pretty much known from being on Drunken Masters record 50 Niggas Deep.
All right.
Okay.
I did 50 Bitches Deep,
You did.
aka Mrs. That was the radio clean version. But yeah, that was the record that people know me from, but nobody really ever got to know the other side of me. Like that was just one part of me.
Okay. Right.
We want to know
Yeah, I
that other
already
side. We
know.
want to get to know that other side.
Right.
Yes.
The
yes.
whole other
See, I
side.
heard about you from Malik. Cheddar Boy's like, oh, you heard Lola? Y'all gotta get on the track.
What?
Nice.
Dang, where's Malik?
He was coming in my granddaddy liquor store like, girl.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay.
And
Well.
go ahead.
Yeah. No. So, what were you getting ready to say?
I was gonna say, me and Mercedes, I think we met. We had a show together.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah,
like-
it was when we did that Memphis Bleak show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And what
Yeah.
year was that?
Ooh.
2000.
Yeah, like 2001.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Nice.
And she was a sweetheart. Sometimes girls in the industry, I don't know.
Thank
not,
you.
Not everybody, but she was real sweet towards me, and I just felt that
And
love.
we reciprocated it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
see,
Well, that's what's
I'm gonna
up.
drop a jewel on y'all too because I know the
Drop a
host.
jewel.
I know the host.
We want to know. We want to know.
know the house.
Yes.
We
Right.
go back like throwbacks.
Hey.
We
Noel
shared the
Village.
same porch.
Okay. Noel Village, baby. She became an
When I
East
was-
Side girl a little
I know,
bit.
right? Just for a minute. So I'm well rounded. I'm good in
Right.
any hood.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Shout out to our mamas.
Shout out.
Hey.
Hey, mama.
So y'all knew each other at like what age?
I was like 12
Yeah.
when I met them.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's a throwback.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Most definitely. Most
Sure
definitely.
did.
Wow. So, Mercedes, like, what do you feel has been your contribution to the hip hop community?
I do feel like I brought some of the rawness out. I know prior to me, Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown had just hit the scene, so they were kind of like breaking the barriers for that, along with Trina and
Okay.
I think Gangsta Boo was a little edgy as
Right,
well.
right.
So I kind of like fell into that, but at the same time, it really isn't me. So I had to kind of find a way to make it coexist at the same time because I'm really a tomboy at heart.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, now y'all want me to go out here half naked?
Right.
Like, I don't mind twerking with some jogging pants on, but
Right.
if I gotta be showing everything, so I had to. It was different.
Yeah, you
And
definitely had to make some
I had to strap my
adjustments.
boots on,
Yeah.
and put my big girl pants on.
Okay.
But I was ready.
Okay.
It's different now
Okay.
because people aren't judged as much.
And why do you feel that?
Social media has a lot to do with it. I was saying even as far as where it goes to parenting, like it's a lot of things that you have to kind of like sit back and analyze yourself because things that we were shielded from, we can't shield our children from. Like regardless of anything, like even if they don't have a phone, their friends have phones,
Exactly.
their computers
Everything
at
is too
school, like
accessible.
everything.
Yeah.
Everything is wide open.
Exactly. So now that, like, I mean, babies are seeing stuff and they're mimicking it, and it's cute to an extent. But when you have them out here looking grown and their children being abducted, I mean, there's just way too much. But like I said, the walls aren't as heavy and people aren't so judgmental. And then everyone fits the bill now, whereas before it was like you stood out in the crowd, where now you go out and it's like, okay, I feel out of place because everybody's beat. Everybody got weaves. Everybody got wigs.
Right.
I mean, back in the day, like, we barely showed up with makeup.
Exactly. Right. Right.
We barely had makeup artists. Like, the stuff that goes on and the way that money is made now, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's much more glamorized.
Yeah, and
Right
then
now.
and then too, there's like a lot more avenues for people to make money, because back then you didn't see, like, if you weren't a hairstylist or you didn't do nails, like, you really didn't make like, you had to do makeup for movie sets, like,
Right. In order
you
to
had,
really see
exactly,
some
to
income
really
coming in, some
flourish.
revenue.
Like, you
Right.
couldn't really just freelance and I just do makeup. No, indeed, you would have been broke. So everything is a lot different now because of social media. There's a lot more access to things. Things are a lot more socially acceptable. Therefore, they're able to do a lot more and not be judged first off. Like, now you put stuff out there and you make people look at you in that way.
Right.
And they have that they get that open door, whereas before you only see what you see when you get flicks and pictures and see them on the newsstands. It's not, now we can interact, so it's a lot different. You get to see how people really are, and it's not so much of you're starstruck anymore. Like, we used to walk around with disposable cameras because you don't know who you gonna see. And I might get me a picture. So, but now you whipping out phones and taking pictures with everybody.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's nothing. So
Yeah. Everything is glamorized now. Everything is computerized.
So
now
it's
with
just
phones
like a
and all
lot.
that.
I
Yeah.
say for females, it's a lot better. I just say that don't ever sell yourself short. You don't have to do anything to get a deal. Like, your talent should speak for itself.
Absolutely.
If somebody makes you think otherwise, go somewhere else, because people go viral every day.
Okay.
Practice your craft, perfect it. It might not be your time, but music is forever. So like, that's just my thing. Like,
Most
I'll
definitely.
all like A&R work. Like, I'll never let it go. Like,
nice.
that's just, it's my passion.
That's
so
what's up. That's
I
what's
listen
up.
to everybody out here. I'm hip to all the young girls.
Okay.
Y'all want me on a track? I'm here.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So Miss Lola, like, what, do you feel has been your contribution towards the hip hop community?
Okay. I think when I did 50 Players Deep, when I was featured on there, I said that rap with conviction, and I felt like out of the 50 misses or bitches that I named off,
Okay.
I was about maybe 30 of them. So I felt it, and I think it resonated with women.
Okay.
Because for a long time I couldn't understand, why do women like my part so much?
Oh yeah.
Because we could relate.
Right.
Yeah, but it took a while for me to understand that. And I was like, because I felt it when I rapped it, and I meant it when I rapped it. Now, I'm older now, so I'm not, that's like the young me. You know,
Right.
like that, like you could look at your video or listen to
My music.
like that's the young us. I'm a grown woman now.
Grown woman, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think I influenced a lot of females
Nice.
that rap. I've had people come up to me and say, "You inspire me, and you're a legend." And for a long time,
right? It's so hard to
Absolutely.
accept.
like, I'm not no legend. That's too much.
I feel older. Lord.
We the OGs, though.
No.
Pioneers of it. Pioneers.
Pioneers
you know?
of hip hop.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's a whole new wave.
Right.
It is interesting though that it's a dime a dozen with female rappers now. Because when we were doing it, it was only a few.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
it's so many, and I'm so happy. I'm proud of y'all that y'all on these charts banging with these men.
Right, 'cause it's
It
a
look
male-
good. I hope
Right.
y'all don't get into it
Looks
like for
real
real.
good.
It's a
Looks
good
real
look.
Good. Yeah, most
It's a
Like,
definitely.
maybe we can have one year that all the awards just go to women.
Hey,
Absolutely. Yeah, that
It's
would be
coming.
a good look
It's
right
coming.
there.
Oh,
It's coming.
absolutely.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Well, we definitely got some drinks on the way from
Top Shelf Bartini.
Top Shelf
And I do want to say
Bartini.
one thing. The whole
Yes.
industry is kind of collapsing now. in
And
a
why do you
way.
feel that?
You don't need a record label. You don't
Yeah.
need to sign. You could go on the internet.
You can be
and
independent.
push your-
Absolutely.
right.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing. Not to shade music companies, whatever.
Right.
But
Now
we
you
seen
have control.
TLC,
Yeah.
Yes.
All these people get dicked out of money.
Mhm.
You know what I
Hello, we
mean?
were there too.
Yeah.
Hello.
But see, I technically didn't have a. You probably had a full record deal. I had like a 1-year agreement.
Yours was with Universal?
It was Fubu Universal.
Okay.
And I had a 1-year agreement with them, based off of a soundtrack.
Oh.
So things kind of I've been independent pretty much from the jump, you know. But
So the 50 Players Deep, yeah, that was a part of a soundtrack?
yeah,
Okay.
It was a soundtrack called The Good Life album, and it had like LL, Ludacris, a lot of heavy names.
Yeah, that was one of our questions.
Detroit,
Mhm.
he was representing like to have to be on a national, international, national project. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm shying away from the mic. Let me get my Jill Scott on.
Hey.
What y'all think about that?
Oh my gosh! Yes.
I know, right?
Before we hit
I need
on
to
that,
watch
we're
it
definitely
slow
gonna hit
mo.
on that.
Okay.
How do you want your
Straight.
drink? Straight up.
Yeah.
Straight
No
up.
chasing,
All right.
no
No
chasing.
chasing.
No
You're
chasing,
trying
no
to
just
do
straight
a
up.
little-
All right.
Okay,
All
my
right.
girl, we on that Deuce.
And congratulations to the show, lady.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Cheers.
Yes.
Thank you.
That girl
Clink,
magic,
clink, clink.
hey.
Yeah.
Black
My
girl
drink is
magic.
coming. My
Clink,
drink
clink,
is coming.
clink.
My drink is
Clink,
coming.
clink, clink.
Yes, please. Deuce, little Deuce up. Oh, we have my little sister, the celebrity nanny. This one right here in the hat that looks like me. This is Jordan. Yes. She's doing her celebrity.
It was
Yep,
you over there,
her
Jordan.
celebrity
Hey.
nanny thing in Atlanta. She flew in today. She has some
Thanks for
high-profile
coming,
clients.
Jordan.
So yes. All right. Are we on to the next one?
I think we are. Wop wop.
All right. Is it my turn?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'll take over. Well, she kind of did say a little bit about that. So Mercedes, your album Rear End definitely was my shit. My favorite songs were Niggas Ain't Shit and Do You Wanna Ride? Yes. That was 1999. That was like my anthem. Like, what? I grew up with her. What? Niggas ain't shit. Let's go. So I noticed, I guess you guys kind of already touched on that, but rappers today, female rappers today, are like emulating your style, you know, from style, fashion, the way they deliver.
But they act like they don't even know I exist.
That's what I'm saying.
Here I
They
go.
need to pay homage. I mean, you know I'm gonna bring it up. Like, come
Yeah,
on,
I'm
this
a
is my
soldier. I
boo.
can say it.
Like,
Here I
do you
go.
see the same thing?
I do.
Okay.
And actually, like, I'm gonna say it. Like, I listen to every genre of music. I absolutely love music. So like, I was hip to Dej Love before she went viral. She reminded me so much of myself because
Really?
I'm a tomboy. She sings, she rap. Like, I'm hip to Nisha Nashay. I'm hip to Brielle Leslie, Cash Doll. Like, she from my neighborhood. Who else? Rocky B. Like, I'm up on all these girls. I stay hip. Molly Brazy. I got a 16-year-old son, so I stay with it. But
baby.
I'm just saying, I gotta keep up. But besides that, like, I gotta stay on my game because I still use my pen. So I have to know what's out here. I do hear my influence. Like, I don't know if y'all are aware, but like, it's unreal how many times that one particular song that went multi-platinum on another album that most people don't even know was on my album. We never even put a video out.
Really?
So, yeah, I think I probably should get, like, an award for, like, not having a video and, like, still getting spins everywhere. Like,
Absolutely.
they play it on Beale Street.
They owe
I'm
you.
just saying, come on.
They
But,
owe you.
Yeah. Real talk. I Can Tell, featuring Mac, is my song. It was released on my album, but it was rushed. Long story short, I moved back to Detroit, and I didn't work on my album because we had in-house production. Therefore, even though I had access to studios here, I was not allowed to record because I work with people like Kern, Brantley, Michael Powell at Vanguard. Like, I've been doing it forever, but I was limited because I had to use beats from Beats by the Pound. And back then, we were using ADATs, and technology was not like it is. So, needless to say, none of my music was recorded, and I basically saw that I had a release date in the magazine. So I called the record label, and I'm like, well, what's going on? Y'all know something that I don't know? Like, how you're going to put an album out and I haven't recorded? They're like, okay, we're going to fly you to California, and we're going to need you to do this in 7 days. Excuse me? You said what? So literally, like the costumes, the choreography, the
Everything.
writing,
Like I see it.
everything,
right.
7
I see
days. So now that I say it, and when you hear my new work, even though you'll hear the growth, you'll see that I didn't have the time to put out my best work because it was rushed. I was up long hours, like singing and rapping all in one day. And anybody that's a vocalist knows that depending on the temperature in the room, and you'll lose your voice, basically.
Right.
So
Right.
one of the songs on the album that everybody loves, and I'm gonna re-record because I didn't
nice.
have a voice, is You're the Only One.
Okay.
I didn't have a voice at all. I was shot. But
What was your inspiration in like writing that record?
honestly, I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth. I had writer's block. Like, it was the very last song I wrote, very last song I recorded. And myself, Alexis, and one of the bodyguards, he's a little ill, so shout out to Pokey. I'm pretty sure he's watching this. If not, he's gonna catch up. But he would always just like come chill with us. So we had got back late, probably like midnight, and she's like, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'm like, I gotta sit with this beat because I gotta put this on the album. Like, it's something about this beat that I gotta do it. But for some reason, I just couldn't come up with a hook. So I'm sitting there, and Pokey just happened to say, why don't you say You're the Only One? And I'm like, huh? And he was like, you're touching on everything, but you gotta like kind of get sensitive too. So I'm like, well, I guess you're right. So it's kind of like after that, the pen got to flowing, and
Right.
I got up at 6 o'clock that morning.
Nice.
And then we shot the video that day.
Okay,
And then
so
it
everything just took off from
it
there.
was
Just fell
fast
in
forward.
place.
Nice.
I got a placement on the Nothing to Lose movie soundtrack. They actually played my song in the movie.
Nice.
I did a full promo tour, me and Fiend. So
Okay.
like we literally, I hit the pavement. Like I was mom and pop record stores. I came through Detroit. I actually got to do like a show with that was when Rough Riders had just hit the scene. So
Okay.
I met DMX,
Drag-On.
Eve, Dragon,
Oh, wow.
every
What
Jada
up,
Kiss
Drag?
Rock.
Hey, Drag
Hey,
on.
drag.
Who else was there? Nick Cannon and
Okay.
Keenan and Kel. They were still on Nickelodeon back then.
okay.
Ludacris was interning at the radio
Wow.
station.
Nice. What up, Luda?
Who else did I meet then? I don't want to say anybody. Oh, Youngbloods. Wow, I worked with a lot of people back then.
Oh, I used to love their music.
Yeah, it's so crazy because like we don't have the technology then. So like we were using
That we do
beepers
now.
and
Right.
we didn't even have two ways yet.
You had to
Like,
put toes in it, flip
was
that thing
after the
upside
fact.
down.
Yeah,
You
so
a 304.
I love you.
Yeah,
right.
so,
Oh, I got a lot of those.
You a 304.
yeah, it's a trip. Like I met a lot of people. Like shout out to everybody on the East Coast. Like it was cool. Like I did a whole. One thing I can say that I did for No Limit is I don't know if anybody like ever paid attention, but we never got acknowledged. Like as much as we were beating down the charts and we always had something constantly coming out, we got no invites to any video places. Like that one time that
Really?
they actually performed was the first and only time. Until we were
okay.
getting like recognitions and No Limit itself didn't exist anymore.
What year
But
was that?
had to be like when they did Make 'Em Say I believe.
98.
Yeah, it had to be like no, it was after that.
About
It was
2001.
about 2001 because
'Cause you
after
got
my
in the
album,
game
yeah,
in
90. I signed in
99.
'96, but
Oh.
my album didn't come out till '99.
99.
Yeah,
Oh,
See,
okay.
I
You was
was
a young
I was
baby,
still
baby,
writing
baby.
yeah, I
poetry.
signed when I was 18.
Yes.
That time, 'cause
Fresh out.
I always wrote poetry,
Okay.
and it wasn't until 2000 is when I like, oh, okay, this is how you write a rap.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I
was
had to
teaching
learn
myself.
that because
Yeah.
I just when I did no kind of rapping.
But isn't it similar kind of flows like poetry? You got
it's a
kind of
different
bars
format.
ish.
You gotta learn
Oh.
syncopation. You gotta
Okay.
learn
Bars,
Yeah,
that
you
kind
gotta
of
learn how to like. You gotta learn like where everything goes, placement, how the song climaxes, and all kind of stuff. And like because I was actually like I have range. Like I can sing from tenor to a first soprano. So I
Interesting.
when they signed me and we're writing, and I'm like, okay, 7 days. Like, these are a lot of songs to write, number one. Number two, like, who's going to do all these backgrounds? Because I was used to being in groups, so I'm singing middle note. You got the top, you got the bottom. Like, I'm not used to coming in here, and I got to knock everything out.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so what direction are we going with this?
Okay.
And they're like, well, you got to do some rapping. And I'm like, huh? They're like, yeah, well, you got to do it because of the way we did the album cover. And I'm like, well, that was y'all decision.
Yeah.
Like, how y'all going to put that on my back? So,
Yeah.
like I said, I had to put my big girl pants on, and I was pressured to do it.
Yeah.
So to say that I had never written a rap and my work is the way that it is, I am absolutely satisfied.
Well, that's what's up. That's what's up. Well,
Lola.
yeah.
Yes.
Lola. So, like you said, ladies around the world are still singing, your verse on the 50 Mrs. Players.
It's a
Deep.
good feeling.
It is. It's awesome. It's awesome. So I did rewatch the video. I'm like, damn, she has some real celebrity.
It's true.
Yes.
Yeah, don't hate when I put girls see
Okay.
it.
Okay. She has some real celebrity cameos. I saw Ja Rule,
yeah.
Ice-T, Fredro Starr. Oh, I remember Fredro
Yeah.
Starr
Oh,
rode
yeah.
in the backseat of my car from college. Like, I don't even know how the hell he got it back.
What?
Hey, Fredro, in my red Sunfire.
Wow.
We had to get to Detroit, and I was
You
part of the
okay?
group. What? Red Sunfire. What? Red Sunfire. He jumped in the
Sunfire
back
gang.
seat and was riding his self downtown Detroit with us from Michigan State. But, yep, Fredro Starr. And I thought I saw Aaliyah. Was I tripping?
Nuh-uh, Olivia.
Oh, okay. She looks just
when
like
she
her.
was with J Records.
Okay.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I was looking like, was that Olivia?
Nice.
So that video shoot, it had to be lit. It looked lit.
Had
It was
to be.
lit, and it was not planned for me and Drunken Master to have that. It was Nas and Nate Dogg's video.
Oh.
And Corrupt was on there, and Corrupt couldn't get clearance from his record label, so that caused issues. And at the last minute, they had to pick a different song.
Okay.
And they, thank God, they chose 50 Players Deep.
Right.
Good.
I
yeah.
was just going to Miami to do a cameo for the video, and then like a week later, they were like, "Well, we got to change the plans. It's your video, so put your gang face on." And
Right.
it was overwhelming, but I felt at that time I could handle it. I was like, okay, I got this.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
but-
Because we know that the song, it raced, of the Billboard charts, and you were, featured in on Source and
BT
on
Rap
BT
City.
Rap City,
Yeah.
all of that. So
I was so embarrassed.
that was legendary.
I embarrassed
Yeah.
but you know what? I felt like I did a bad job because I got on the mic
Because
and
you
rap.
the worst critic.
Why?
I am. I'm
I
hard
know
on
you.
myself, but I just felt like I knew
Not
how
at all.
nervous I was.
Okay.
Oh,
Just
okay.
to be in the basement at the BET studios, it
Right.
was just so. I felt like my performance could have been better, but just to be able to say I did that.
You did
Of
it.
course.
You rep
You know.
Detroit.
You did that.
Hey.
People
Yeah.
loved you. People still love you. Absolutely.
And I'm thankful for that, because it's like younger girls that are rapping my part, and I'm like, you was a baby.
I was in the
Right.
bar, and
Most
I had
definitely.
to just ask this girl. I said, "How old are you?" Because she knew every
Every
word to my
word.
song, and I'm sitting there like, she can't possibly
No,
be
but
old
you'd be
enough. And
surprised.
she said, "Girl, my mama
Mama,
listened to
yeah.
this
Yeah.
all while I was a kid,
Yeah.
and she
Right.
never knew. If you listening, baby, you was talking to me,
Okay.
but she was jamming. I was sitting there cracking up laughing. My friend kept saying, "I'm about to tell her it's you," and I'm like, "You better not."
Because I think what we did in that era, it was almost unheard of. So we
It kind of still sound current. I think that's probably why
It
they
is.
still mess with it,
It
because
is.
it's like it'll never die.
no, it won't.
Never
Thank
die.
God.
Good music is timeless.
Thank God.
And one thing you said that kind of
Go ahead.
like I don't know. I feel like people don't pay homage to people like us, but that's okay. I'm not.
Well, we
looking for
do.
that.
Hey,
Here, look, we
baby
know
girl
our-
came up with the topic. I'm like, wait, I got the two. I'm
Right, I'm
ready.
like, bet, let's
no,
run
You know
it.
These
what?
my
If it
babies.
wasn't
Let's
for-
go.
Yeah.
If it wasn't
Yeah,
for
we
Salt and
brought-
Pepper, MC Light, JJ
Exactly.
Fad,
And
like,
besides us, bosses from here, like
and
you
Smiley,
know, we
you
broke
know.
down
Right.
barriers. I mean,
yeah.
shout out to Aaliyah because she went to DSA, but she's from NY.
Mm.
We're born and raised Detroit, baby.
Right.
Wherever
girls
I
for
go,
real.
anywhere I'm at, I don't care. Y'all can say I'm hood. I'm throwing my D's up.
The girls. Lola, one quick question, and we gonna get into the personal shit because we really only have like 20 minutes to go.
Okay.
Time is flying,
wow.
Flying
so-
by. We
Sure.
have so
Flying
much
by.
fun.
But we need 2 hours next time.
Okay,
have to
Dave,
come
2
back.
hours. Yes, absolutely. I know you have like a ton of mixtapes that you've dropped.
Yeah.
I love the song "I Need a Little." It's deep, you know,
thank
and I
you.
didn't know that you could sing. That's what I was like.
Yeah.
Okay,
Go
A
to
little
her
bit.
shit.
yes,
When me and Mercedes did the group.
okay.
Yeah, I kind of made her.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm like, hold on. I'm like, she was sitting in there and I'm in there recording and I come out and I'm listening to the playback and she back there on the couch like, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, so you can sing?
A little bit, but I
She
was
like,
shy.
a little bit,
was
but I
shy.
can't. I
Right.
said, you can sing enough to sing background. You finna
Yeah.
add another note.
Well, I
Most
heard
definitely.
some vocals, honey, on that. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Sound
the
real
remix
good.
to
Thank
Drake's
you.
You're
"Do Better."
welcome.
I'm like, ooh, that like Drake. Did
Yeah.
he like ever like give you a shout out like that?
No,
Dope. Drake, give her a shout out. I need
Drake.
you to go
Come on
and listen
now.
to that, okay?
Yeah.
It's the
I'm
female
not on
response
Drake's
to it.
radar. That's
Right.
how I feel
Oh,
like,
well, you
I'm
about
not
to be.
on
You're about
radar.
to be.
Okay, you about to be. What up, Drake?
Thank you. But yeah, singing and rapping is too. It's like singing. I commend people who can really sing like you. Like I mean, I could sing too, but you are more seasoned at it. I would say it's not easy. It's easier to spit a verse, you
Yeah,
know,
it
but
is. It's
to
much
hit the
easier.
wrong note, like
Because
it's
you can always show up with your voice a little raspy.
yeah.
Right.
But not when you gotta sing. Oh,
Yeah.
But
no.
nowadays, you know, it's trickery in the studio.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
Everybody
in the
can
studio
sing
for
now.
sure.
Auto-tunes
Yeah.
and everything
Everybody's
else.
singing
Yeah.
now, right?
It's
Oh,
popping
yeah. I'm
nowadays.
let y'all know y'all giving yourselves away too. Please, if you gonna go viral, be prepared.
Be prepared.
I do
Yeah.
not
Y'all
want to
hear
come
that?
see you live and
Okay.
show. And if you sing over your track,
And
you
that
better
music
sound
stop.
like it.
Sound
Okay.
like it.
Please sound like your track if you gonna sing over it. I'm just saying. That's a
Wow.
professional tip. Practice.
Practice.
Sound like
Make
yourself
perfect.
or just lip sing like you do on the video. But don't sing with the track if you gonna sound like somebody else.
Okay.
Because they're
Yeah.
not gonna want to come see you anymore.
Rap.
And then you won't be selling records. And then you'll be saying that they don't know you.
Right, right. Oh my gosh.
She's a fake.
Right. All right, ladies, let's get into some of the little personal things.
Okay.
Here at Closet Conversations, that's what we do.
We
So-
want to know the real deal. You know
We
what
want to
I'm
know.
saying?
We
Okay,
want to
let's
know. So, Mercedes, did you ever, date anyone from No Limit?
No, actually,
No, I had to ask that.
yeah. And everybody always assumes, like, don't y'all think I don't be looking, but I look at everything. Like, I read comments on YouTube. I read comments on pictures that aren't mine.
Silk the Shocker.
Yeah,
Oh,
someone went
he
under
was
my
so
son's
fine. I
picture
think
one
that
day
was
and
my
was
favorite.
like,
Yeah.
he looks just like Silk.
Yeah.
So I said, well, it gotta be because of Miller blood, because his father's from the west side of Detroit.
Really?
Oh.
And he's never been in entertainment. So y'all can take that charge off of my back. But
Wow.
no. Actually, it was really hard for me to even date, because if you think about it, like, even just here, it was kind of like I went from the hood of Detroit, and then you got to think about it. I don't even know if Berkeley remembers,
It's okay.
but we used to spend our summers in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Oh.
You
So
used to
we
leave
used to-
us.
yeah, we used to
And I
leave
didn't have
you
nobody
for
to play with. I played
Right.
with Ashley. I did play with Ashley. Shout out to Ashley Joy.
Right.
Hey,
so
Ashley.
we used to leave for the summers, and we always spent time in New Orleans half, and then we would spend some time with our family in Mississippi.
Nice.
So I always had that overall with my entire family. So that was another reason why my mom wasn't against me going away for college, because she felt safe. Like, even though I was at the dorms on the weekends, I was with grandma and my aunts, and I could wash my clothes and I could use cars, and so I knew my way around.
Okay.
So once I went back and I'm there for school, and now I'm with these group of guys, like, you got to think I'm only 5'2". For all of you people, when you see me, you're like super
short.
surprised that I'm short. I had
She's
heels
short, but
on.
she cute.
But I'm petite and small, and I'm only 5'2". But everyone was like 6'2", 6'3", 6'4".
So you never, I'm sorry to cut you off. We
No.
just want to know this. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So you never messed
no,
with nobody.
don't give me no bodies.
No Romeo, no
They
nothing.
ran them off. Oh no,
Okay.
honey child. He
Well,
called
maybe
me
we can get a little
auntie.
bit more
Look,
tea from
he called me
Right.
auntie. Lord, you said wrong. Oh Lord,
Hey,
might have
Romeo
a heart
always
attack
had.
if you hear that.
Hey Romeo, I always had a crush on you. Lola.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
Well, me and Drunken Master never ever had any kind of relations or anything like that.
Dang, you already knew who he was about to ask
Yeah,
about.
Drunken
You
Master.
Because I think
even
people
date
thought
in the
that.
industry. Like I never dated
Because
in
you
the
guys
industry.
were close, so you
Yeah,
know we all
right.
kind of like
You got a
wondering
song
that.
called Ex-Girlfriend. I didn't know if it was.
Was it
Yeah.
you?
No.
Was it you? Okay, all right.
I will say one person that I had a crush on, and we ended up meeting and dated for a short period was Corrupt.
Oh,
Hey, come
okay. Hey, Corrupt.
But that was long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Before he introduced me to Drunken Master. So I
Okay,
wanted
that's
a
what's
rap boyfriend. So
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
like, I looked at him like I grew up listening to the Dog Pound.
Right.
And when we met, we just kind of clicked and connected. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's what's up,
so-
Salter. Yeah.
But
That's
you don't
cool.
mix. I don't think you should mix business with
With
pleasure.
pleasure.
Honestly,
Yeah.
now
I had
I'm
to
a
learn
little
that.
more like. Yeah, I was about to say. Now I kind of like.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would be totally against it. Like back then, I was totally against it
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because I was always around it. So
Mm-hmm.
to see so much stuff, and then I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah, we gonna kick it. And like I
Right.
said, we didn't have none of this technology, so
Social media.
yeah, wasn't
No
none
one
of
would
this
even
FaceTime
know.
where you
Right.
at. Let me see your background
Right.
and all that. It wasn't none of that. So it was a lot. Like
Yeah.
that's a lot to put your trust into somebody, and
Yeah. Right.
they're on the
Right.
road, and then you're in different states. Like it's just too much.
It is.
Right.
Oh,
What else
and I
happened?
do. I'm sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
wanted to say one thing. My
Uh-huh.
son's father was a producer at the time. And so
Okay.
I think being a rapper and trying to date somebody that wasn't in that, it felt better for me because I felt like they could relate, but it that doesn't always work out either. But like just, I've had different guys try to holler at me and I'm like, I think he just want to have sex with me. Like
Right.
based off of, you don't know, like, I don't know. It's just hard. Like an average kind of guy back then, it was just like, nah, I'd rather date somebody that can relate. And me and my son's father, he was a producer. I felt like at that time we could make money together. We could do this together.
Do the beats for
Yeah,
free.
yeah. And we were on that path, but things didn't pan out that way. But
Okay.
You
Okay.
know.
We moving right along. We
yeah.
about 15 minutes to end.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, so Miss Lola Damone, like, have you ever experienced like any type of situations where you felt you was like treated, as a lesser artist because of your gender, being female?
because of my gender, no. I never felt that way. But I thought, okay, I don't know. I thought you was gonna ask me something else. I felt less of an artist at a show that I did with other artists not from Detroit, and then the artists
Okay.
from Detroit got treated like crap.
Oh,
But
wow.
the artists that weren't from here, it was an old school hip hop show at the Masonic Temple like 2 years ago. And it was just like our dressing room got taken away. Like we didn't have a dressing room because the DMX's entourage, they took our dressing room, and not to be negative or nothing like that, but it was
Right.
just like, dang, we got
They
treated
don't
like
give you
nothing.
In your own
they're
city,
in your
though.
own
In
city,
your
yeah.
own city, yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Like I was honored and happy to be asked to perform for that show.
Right.
But I expected to be treated a little bit better.
Most definitely.
Yeah, we do
most
gotta get a
definitely.
little bit better with that
Right.
because down south, I can say one thing: they show up and they show out for their own. So, come on, Detroit.
Well,
we gotta
I think
get
it's
with
changing.
the program.
Right.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was never
like that.
It was never. I like to see the unity. Like it. I'm glad that it's making some type of a turn. Even with amongst the men, like it gotta get better. You know what I mean? Like it's senseless violence, and we don't want to see that.
Well, on the flip side, like has a industry, in the past ever made, you feel that being a female artist actually worked in your favor?
Yeah.
Back then, yeah, because it wasn't that many female rappers doing it.
It was
you know?
rare.
Yeah,
Right.
it
was
wasn't
very
that
rare.
many,
A rare
and then
commodity.
like I said, it's like it's like an extra pat on the back because it's like they kind of like don't even think you can do it. So you gotta like, you know, once you show up and show out, they like, oh, okay, shorty, like you know,
Right.
you done already got your respect. You ain't have to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So like you just had to come with your A game, and as long as your lyrics was tight, you good.
So is it safe to say we kind of paved the way for the new school?
Absolutely.
Rappers
I
from
think
Detroit.
so.
From
Absolutely.
Detroit,
think so.
Not even just from Detroit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, they listen to
Hopefully
us.
they did
Don't
their
act
homework
like
right.
they ain't don't
It's
listen to
some
us.
people
They
that
can
did
act
their
like they
homework.
don't.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
So if you had the opportunity to, I guess, get into the reality career, would you want to join like a Love and Hip Hop?
Not
Oh,
me.
I don't know if I could do the
I
So
would
why
turn-
wouldn't you want
I would
to be
turn
on
it
Love and
down.
Hip Hop?
I was about to
Because
see.
it seems like it's a great
It
opportunity
is a good
for a lot of
opportunity
upcoming
as
artists.
far as like putting yourself back out here and getting that buzz, because like I'm pretty sure you probably feel the same way. Like for a long time, I just created social media, but for a long time I didn't deal with like fan pages. I do
Okay.
have personal accounts because of like, you know, things that I want to share amongst family and friends,
Right,
but
right.
I'm very guarded, and it
Okay.
was because of how I came up in the industry. It was I was a female, so I was always with a bodyguard. Like it was very hard to date because they're more so worried about the creeps.
Right, right. So
And
what-
now it's like you meeting guys through the DM.
DM,
Like
yeah, right.
you
exactly.
don't know what, you know,
Right.
and you ain't telling your friend, you ain't telling your right. Like back in the day, we used to take a picture of your license plate, and
Exactly.
write it down,
Yeah.
leave it for your mom, tell you where
Right.
you'll be at. You know,
Exactly.
like,
We
look,
still
we
do
still do
that.
it too.
Yeah,
just
right,
because-
right, right. 80s babies,
Yeah,
70s
but you know,
babies. That's
everybody
what we
ain't
do.
up
So
on
no
that.
Love and Hip Hop for you.
No.
I could do it if like it would have to be like a guide. Like they would have to know it's a guideline for me.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I don't want no lawsuits.
No
And I
exposure
ain't
of the
trying to go to
children.
jail.
No
Yeah,
babies.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
some people.
So what
bring
would
their
be your
children
exact
into
Well,
it.
see,
reason
I ain't
why you
worried
wouldn't
about
wanna
them bringing
do
up
it?
no children because see, mine's is good. I done always took. I handles my business. I done worked since I was 14 years
Right,
old.
right.
They can't say nothing about this one here. My name
Yeah.
good in the hood.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say no.
I've come a long way, and I'm 40 years old, and
Are
I've
you?
never had.
Don't say that.
Oh,
felony.
wow. You snatched?
So I know
40,
that
let's
like a lot of
go.
the stuff I see, because I'm still a human being. I still have feelings, and I pop off. I'm
So
from Detroit.
Love and Hip Hop would not be good for you.
Well, you know,
I
it's
don't know. Like I said,
producers
it
who
would-
they,
It is.
they
Because I know that
they
a lot
can
of that
portray
stuff
you
is
in the
set
wrong
up,
light.
You know what
Right.
I mean?
You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
And so how would
Like,
they like
and I-
portray you in the wrong light? How do you feel?
I just feel like they humiliate. They make black people look terrible on Love and Hip Hop. I stopped watching Love and Hip Hop
Me too.
two or 3 years ago because I
Okay.
didn't like how they are portraying people to just act like second class citizens. No, you know,
yeah, all
it's
that,
just
all that
fighting, and, but
and
they doing that. It's like Jerry
belittling.
Springer.
Yeah,
You know
just
what I'm
for
saying?
ratings. That you
For
feel like they
ratings.
just
Yeah.
strictly
And
doing
you're
it
not
for
about
ratings.
to do that to me,
Right, right.
Because I'm gonna look bad in the end, and I
Exactly,
have a
and that's
family.
why I
and
said
a
I feel
son.
like if I
There you
were,
go.
like, we
You
would
know.
have to have guidelines. Like,
So at
But-
the end of the day, it's all
Yeah.
about integrity for you
Yeah.
ladies.
Exactly,
Absolutely.
because
Right.
like
Nice.
for one, I stayed in the background because I wanted to. It was a choice. Like, yeah, I could have went back to Louisiana and picked up at any time with everybody because I still keep in contact with them, but I had a child and I was in the business. So did I really want to, like, I wasn't at the point where I could be hiring no nanny. So did I really want to be trying to start from the ground up now, because I was once with a big label. So now I'm not, and I'm here in a different element. Even though
get
I'm
another
from
shot.
here, the people I used to work with aren't here anymore. Like, we've all gotten older. We've all attended college. Like, everybody's going doing them.
Right.
So
Right.
it's totally different. And I decided to be a mom. I decided that I was going to, focus on
Absolutely.
my
Raise your
child.
child.
And once he got to an age where it would be okay and he could accept me being away,
Okay.
then it wasn't a problem. So that was
Yeah.
around
How
the
old?
time-
How old is your son now?
He's 16.
Okay. You have any children?
I do. My son is 14.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
my
yeah,
son's
like
11.
when we were
My son's 9.
Mama's
with boys. Mama's with
Yeah, y'all know how you get boys too.
Right, we doing
Yeah,
it.
trick.
I know,
Like,
right?
Yeah, we know how to make
But
boys.
can I say something?
Yes,
I don't
please.
knock anybody that wants that bag and they trying to
No,
get that check.
absolutely.
Okay.
Because I mean, that's you can't knock that. You know what I mean? But I just know me personally, I've prepared myself to say no. Like
Okay.
because I like my privacy and I don't
Yeah,
want
I'm a-
people in my life and I don't. It's like no, I don't. And I don't take any artists serious that come off of hip hop, loving hip hop. Now Cardi
The
B.
crazy thing is,
and
a
K.
lot
Michelle,
of them
that's it.
now
Okay.
aren't even artists. Like some of them are, but some like you have like when it first came out, that's what it was surrounded around. But
Yeah.
now it's like they'll bring in anybody. Like
Yeah,
I could just
I
bring
don't
you
take
because
it
you my
serious.
homegirl and you gonna be the assistant, and then
Mm.
if they like you and the ratings good, then you gonna have a spot.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I could do it if there were guidelines. Like
Right.
if I would be more so like I don't know, because even like the wives is catty. I don't really
Everything
know.
is a little crazy.
'Cause that's
But
my
shout out to
thing.
La Brittany who's on Love and Hip Hop.
Oh,
we
yeah,
we
that's
love
right.
you.
Hey, La
Keep
Brittany.
going.
Yeah,
keep
she be
going.
rocking that Valley Girl.
Yeah, and
Let's
Cash Doll,
go.
she featured on the
Love and Hip Hop as
yeah,
well.
with
Oh,
her.
yeah.
Yeah, they did like a
Absolutely.
little scene together. So shout out to both of them ladies.
Yes,
Most
yes.
definitely, most definitely. So I mean, we're getting ready to wrap things up, but tell me like what's
Any
your
advice?
long term? Yeah,
Yeah.
Any advice that you could possibly give to?
The young aspiring
I would
artist.
just
Right.
say keep going because right now the internet is, you don't need a label. You can promote yourself. You can propel. You can go viral just off of social media and the internet now. So that's a good thing. You don't have to sign a contract. You don't have to
Sign a dotted
you know,
line.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
put your
can
blood
learn.
on the line.
Right.
Period.
Yeah, you can
'cause-
take your money and invest in yourself. Like
Yeah.
that's what it's all about. It's perfecting your craft, being open to work with others. Like so many people get put in this box, and it's okay to work with one producer. I'm not knocking nobody that does it, but sometimes when you step outside of that box and you work with other people, they bring different things out of you that you didn't know you were even capable of. And I
So
know
working
that
with different producers.
right,
Okay.
because I know that like a lot of people that I do like vocal coaching and stuff here, so I know a lot of producers, and I know a lot of people that will get with one person and that's the only person that's doing their beats, but that's because that's who looking out for them. They don't really have it, and they want to just come record because they got the passion, and I get that, but get out here and get you a little job and hustle up you some dollars, because studio time really ain't that much, and you really don't even need a studio no more. You can buy you a beat, get you a little thing you can set up in your room, record yourself, pay to
Nice.
get somebody to mix and master, please.
Okay.
And I make
Because you
beats.
don't want to
You
put
make
out
beats?
garbage.
Yeah, that's my new thing.
Hey,
Lola
look,
the
yeah.
Mom makes
I'm about to come over
beats.
there 'cause I just said, look, that's the crazy thing, because I literally just started, because I'm like, y'all got to teach me, because I think for a long time they tried to keep me from behind that
So
board.
they can come to you for vocal training, and they can come to Lola for the
For the
beats.
beats.
Hey,
Hey, collaboration,
Bam.
and they
Bam.
back.
yeah, we right. So
They
we gonna
back.
just be knocking them out. We
They
can
back.
go write you a song. Look, if you can't write, it's cool. And see, that's the
Okay.
good thing now with being able to do it independently, because you can lead. You like, it's so good that you could say, I could give you your rights, because I know you sat in on that session, and it's.
Right.
It's more of an avenue now to where you can help somebody
Right.
with your music, whereas you don't really have to worry about being screwed. So I just more so say, be mindful and educate yourself. Like, if you've never read anything, you need to. All about the music business, laws of attraction. You need to learn things. You need to have networking skills. You have to be a people person. Like,
That's what's up.
Absolutely.
That's what's up. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, let's wrap this up. I do have one last question for you, ladies.
Okay.
No, in 60 seconds, like, what is your do you have any upcoming projects coming up? Anything like that?
Well, I plan on producing my own EP,
Okay.
but I don't want to rap like how I've been rapping. I'm ready to be. I'm a bit of a rebel. and a revolutionary type person.
Wow.
I got a lot to say about the world, about
I love
what's
it.
going on. And I'm
Yeah.
not here to talk about the dumb shit. No disrespect that most female rappers, I commend all of them for doing this because it's a male-dominated field, but I feel like we need to step it up and talk about better things, like to empower us
Absolutely.
Tell a story. Because
Yeah.
that's what it's supposed to be about.
Like I'm
Right.
hearing the same things
Oh, yeah.
regurgitated over
Oh,
and
yeah.
over.
Over and over again.
You know,
Thottetry is what I call it.
yeah. And it's no shade or nothing like
Right.
that. It's just
Thottetry.
somebody gotta, you know. And when it was Kim and Foxy and all those girls, then came Lauren. We need that Lauren right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Right.
I don't feel
Oh,
like
yeah,
we
'cause
have
I
that
was-
right
look,
now.
I need to go on that because I was going to say that. I looked
Yeah.
at her Instagram and I'm like, hold on.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
nobody
most
know my
definitely.
girl
Somebody
exists.
needs
Right.
to be a
Y'all
role model
sleeping.
to
Yeah.
the young girls coming up because I think, you know, I don't know.
Right,
I don't
right.
know.
Well,
and
I
so
think we
Mercedes,
can all
like,
come
what
together.
about you? Like your 60 seconds. What?
I have a lot of things coming. My website will be available.
Okay.
A lot of people been hitting me up for my music, so just so you guys will know, the old album will be on digital platform beginning of the year. I have new music dropping. Maybe I can get Lola on the track.
Hey.
Yes.
I'm of course working with Beats by the Pound. If nobody knows, they are back together, so it's a lot of big things. There's documentaries. There's gonna be apps. We got a lot of interviews that are already done. I'm about to do the VVS remix. I don't know if y'all heard it yet. Fiend already jumped on it with Derez to Shine by All Top 20 out in ATL. I don't know if
Okay.
y'all heard of it.
Okay.
But it's heating up the waves. They sampled my track, so of course they asked me to get on it. It's a lot of people out here paying homage, even though they don't know. So shout out to y'all. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And I'm coming back to
Absolutely,
take
yeah.
what's mine.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
definitely.
So in wrap up, if you can just shout out your social media again, we thank Top Shelf Bartini for supplying
Yes,
the
honey, the drinks were
awesome
good.
Thanks,
Thank
love.
cognac
you.
mules and
Thank you.
Moscow mules. Shout out to my baby sister, the celebrity nanny. She's out here taking care of these babies. And shout out your Instagram.
You can find me on IG and Facebook and Snapchat. Mercedes, the number 2, the letter U, the number 4, Life, Lyfe.
All right. For life.
Hey.
Well, my Instagram is IAMLOLADAMONE, Lola Damone. And I'm not on Facebook, so don't even bother to go on there. Okay.
Yeah, I don't post much.
Because
but
I don't know. Facebook is so like,
Older,
It's just
mature.
Yeah.
it's kind
I'm
of
over it.
It's my daddy.
More of a
advertising,
mature
like,
crowd.
you
So
know?
It's starting to be MySpace.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
like MySpace.
MySpace.
It's
No.
becoming MySpace.
Oh.
Yeah. But guess what? People still go on
Yes.
MySpace. Like
Right.
our pictures
Well, we
are
have
still
to
on
have to
MySpace.
wrap up. We have another show about to start. But thank you, ladies.
Thank
Thank
you
you for
much.
having us.
Yes.
Yes.
God bless. Good night. Thank you to the listeners. See
Peace,
you next
Detroit.
Tuesday.
yeah,
Hey.
closet conversation.
Closet Conversations.
Whoop, whoop.
Yay.